Slowly inching toward spring break. Somehow I managed to survive Monday. It was a long day. I'm tired. But you'll never guess what happened. This morning at my house, when we opened the back door to leave, just outside the door was a baby possum. Like, not like such a baby that it's like pink and hairless. No. It looked like a possum, but it's obviously small. So I don't know how quickly they grow. But there was one. It was by itself. It was like huddled in the corner of the door frame and like the wall right there. And I'm glad one of my kids saw it before the dog ran out, because our dog probably would have, I'm going to assume, inadvertently killed it, because she probably thinks it's a toy. But anyway, this little tiny thing, like, if we left the door open too long, I was afraid it was just going to take a few steps inside, and if it got in the house, then I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But anyway, when I left to go to work, it was still there. It was awake, and it just looked like super, I don't know if it was tired or lethargic. And, you know, they are nocturnal, so maybe it was sleepy. But I put a little bowl of water out for it, and I really hope that maybe it sort of wandered off, or its parent came back for it. Like, I don't know how this little baby possum got to my door. Like, where is your mom? I'm assuming you probably have siblings. Like, how did you end up right there? Like, I don't know. I don't know if maybe it got in the pool somehow and then it managed to get out and like crawl to our door. I have no idea. I have extremely limited experience with possums. I normally just see them on the side of the road dead. Sometimes I'll see a live one kind of like walking through the bushes as I'm driving, you know, like through a neighborhood or something. But this thing was so small, like I could have held it in my palm, and I felt really bad for it. But what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't bring it inside my house. I had to, you know, put my dog on a leash and take her out the front door. I'd let her go to the bathroom before I went to work. I guess I'm gonna have to find a wildlife rehabber, because by the time I get home, no doubt, you know, the city's animal control is going to be closed, because, you know, they probably only work 8 to 5. But I can't have this thing sitting there. I feel bad. It's just the saddest little pathetic, kind of cute baby possum. I don't know what it eats. I don't know if it's hurt. I don't know. But I'm also extremely worried that if it is still there, I have to somehow use a towel to put it in a box and then drive it to whatever rehabber I can find. So that makes me extremely nervous. Like, I don't want to touch the thing. I know it's a baby. I know I'd have a towel in my hand, but I'm gonna have to like pump myself up to do that. So I don't know. I hope it, throughout the course of the day, figured out where it needed to be, and it got there. I tried looking on the cameras during my lunch break, but it was so small, I couldn't tell if it was still, you know, huddled in the corner of my door or not. I don't have experience with wild animals. There was this skunk fight once in our backyard, probably like 8 years ago now. I've never seen 2 skunks fight, but they were actually fighting, and the sounds they were making, well, I can't even describe it. I thought it was a cat at first, but it sounded different than a cat would sound if it was fighting. But anyway, like, we had to call somebody, and they set up traps, and they eventually caught them, and they took them and they released them somewhere else. But those are full-grown adult skunks. What do you do with a baby? What am I supposed to do with a baby possum? I don't know. Best case scenario is it's gone. I'm not really excited about the prospect of finding one that's dead because something happened. But I also am not excited about trying to herd this thing in a shoebox and drive it somewhere. I will if I have to. I don't know. Just thinking about this dang baby possum like all day. We'll see. We'll see what the situation is by the time I get home. Wish me luck.